Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Let me start by saying this figure that I'm hosting today is difficult to just introduce her as one identity or talk about her work under the label as it's very diverse. When it comes to her human knowledge of well being, it's nice to meet you, Dr. Sara Abou Bakr, the founder of Vital Force.
Nice to meet you too. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this interview. I want you to share as much as you like and talk and share stories. I'm kind of excited to know and learn a lot from you.
I will. Will do. Will do.
So now first, let me just say congratulations for your master's executive degree in mental health and as becoming a certified psychologist who's specified in specialized in personality disorders. So, but the history of your expertise is very diverse to where you are now. Like, how do you identify you?
Okay. Well, let me comment about that last thing you've said. I'm so happy for going into psychology and for my whole past to lead me there. So, because what I have realized after the pandemic, of the corona, and of so many things that has been happening around, people are suffering from mental health disorders more often. And actually, that's the main thing that so many people feel not right nowadays. Their nervous system is not regulated, and the stress and anxiety is taking over everybody. And there is so much pain and no relief, and no one is understanding why. So, for the whole path to lead to this point, and for me to become a psychologist, to me it's like a dream come true. Everything led to this point.
So that means that you weren't originally psychology, like when you first started like your education, there were some stuff before psychology.
Well, it's actually a bit surprise that I'm coming from a business background.
Okay.
Yeah, and I worked in financial companies and actually in the corporate department for a while. And then I made a whole career shift in the health and fitness field. And
Business, finance, money
yeah,
to health and fitness
yes,
to
yes,
psychology, or is there any?
yes, you can.
That's
you can
diverse.
say that.
We said
You can
diverse.
say that. Yeah. Well, health and fitness, it was one of my greatest passions ever. I stayed there for 15 years. And actually, this is the biggest chapter of my whole life that I was very devoted to. I'm still devoted to. From a trainer to a different roles in fitness, where I took the fitness management role in different actually countries. And I got into the healing aspect of it. I worked on the from an aspect of sports medicine, exercise therapy, corrective exercise, how to help people who are having some sort of this disability to function daily in a normal way. So I was like, no, I want to prevent injuries. I want to help people who feel like they are limited in any sort of way. Let's work on that. So that's what I got specialized into. So I was a nerd. I kept studying a lot. My continuous education took me for far, actually. And from there, I got into the holistic practices because it was not enough. I realized it was not enough. Knowing about physical education and just specializing into the human body, by any mean, even if you want to reach a certain goal and then you fall out, there is something still missing. There is something still missing in you. So it can't be wellness, it can be only physical body. There is something missing. So I started to dive deeper into the spiritual being in ourselves. And I took a very long journey, more than 8 years into it. And that led me to the holistic practices that I added later, and I got more interested into it, which is like meditation to train the mind, the yoga to breathe with the movement, to do everything consciously, not just as an exercise or go to the gym for an end result or something
You're
like
not
that.
the type of person who, let's put it this way, you're not the type of person who just likes to jump into the water. You like to dive deeper so you can discover what's under it.
Well, yeah, you can say that. I love
Okay.
how you put it out there.
Thank you. A lot of metaphors.
Yeah. And so from there, from the holistic practices, I realized still there is something missing. I was diving deeper and deeper into the human knowledge, let's say. So it wasn't only about the physical education, learning everything about the body from anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, but there is something still not quite there. For me, I was like, okay, there is an aspect. What is after the physical body? What is after the mind? And we train the brain by the meditation, which I led many circles around the world about it. What's after by combining the breath with the movement of the yoga? There is something still is screaming out and calling for our attention. I am looking around me with my clients and the society. There is still something missing. And then here started to scream out the word nervous system, nervous system. We are all stressed and having anxiety, even if we are personal trainers or master trainers. And we can still not control our life. There is something quite wrong there. So I told myself, okay, let's go and dive deeper. And then I turned the page into the emotional healing, spiritual emotional healing, which will lead us at the end to psychology and to what came in the road and you heard about it. Maybe so many people are getting certified and playing with it nowadays, called NLP, neuro linguistic programming. They started to just run directly to the subconscious. And what is neuro linguistic programming? It is something that I am going to reframe you and I will let you admit that you have been conditioned and this is not the way you want to live. So what you're going to do is you're going to use some phrases. You're going to ask yourself very deep questions, and it's not going to be one why. It's going to be 5 whys for the same one thing. So let's say you have some sort of an emotion or a reaction or a response, and you want to understand. So you're going to ask why, and then there will be something, and then why. There will be another answer, and then why. So it's at least 5 whys till you get the root of it. Because this was an attempt of understanding the root. And once you know the root and it comes to the awareness and what is in the subconscious that will come to your conscious, then whatever they call is a nod or like a problem or a trauma, it will get released. So was a way of you being conscious and consciously aware of what is happening deeper within yourself. So it is like a chapter of knowing the self by yourself, because you are going now to heal. You are going to do the job by yourself. So that's why everybody right now, okay, let's do neuro-linguistic programming. You know what? Because our subconscious has 95% control over our lives, and there's so many things hidden in that dark room. We want to understand what's happening. Why are we being hypnotized and just having this behavior in the society and in our lives without any sort of knowledge? So they started to crack that code, but that was not enough, because unfortunately NLP in the wrong hands will actually cause so much more damage or no result at all if it is not being reframed and put into the right hands, how to use it, when to use it, and make the person in front of you understand.
But how can something like very healing, and the way that you described it, it was like, it's like a magical pill. How can that be very destroying? Or like you said, if it's in the wrong hands, like how can something very healing could be misleading or could cause more damage?
Yeah, it's like breath work nowadays. Unfortunately, the spiritual world, which is, oh my God, so many people who, let's say, claiming and being fake into that beautiful world, and everybody's calling themselves spiritual because maybe they just had an intuition one day and it clicked, or because they are choosing a more free life, a freestyle life,
Or maybe because it's
being
trending.
a rebel for over the community, and they don't want to have a job from 9 to 5, and they just wanted to explore freely. And then they started to have all these thoughts, and then they were like very, I'm calling them highly aware consciously. So they started to call themselves I am spiritual, but they are not, because spirituality is a very sacred bond between you and the divine, or between you and the creator, or between you and the greater, let's say, powerful source beyond the realms.
Yeah.
That means what? That means actually it's a huge responsibility being a spiritual person, because it will require you a lot of isolation and digging deeper within yourself and being so honest and have great integrity, not claiming it as a word, but to be very honest with yourself. So that path of I'm gonna answer your question of NLP is very healing, but it is not about a technique or a skill. You're just gonna press the button and it will function. It is something you will take in and learn by a guided someone who is really responsible and certified and knowledgeable. He will lead you to make you feel safe, that it is okay for you to dig deep within yourself and sit with the uncomfortable, because it is very uncomfortable to uncondition whatever has been conditioned and became part of you, because it's part of you. Did you hear about Jordan Peterson? Jordan Peterson, the amazing psychiatrist, and he made a university now, and he was a lecturer around the whole world. He is brilliant, brilliant, is very famous. That man, he talked so many times at his early stages about 90% of you will get burned into this process to become to the best version of you and to become to who you are in reality. 90% of you, and it's gonna hurt like hell.
Is there a specific like process or like technique that could cause this burnout?
It's a sum of many things and practices that you do. And for the NLP, of course, it has its own technique, of course, with the words that you use and the questions you use and the prompt you make to make yourself always face your emotions. There is a specific questions you ask yourself. Every time there is an emotion reaction, you catch yourself is like, hold on. And then you like, there are questions you ask yourself, why I'm feeling this? Is this true? Is this real? And you reframe if it is negative, because you don't want to believe every thought that just comes from into your mind. Sometimes we
Yeah.
have repetitive thoughts
Yeah.
that are coming from the subconscious in the first place.
And that's what I was going to ask you, like when you like at the, specifically at the point, let's go back when you said like you're going to ask yourself at least 5 whys. Why is this and why is that?
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of people, like, and I'm not judging them at all because I was one of those people. Sometimes
They get
they're not
stuck.
carried. They're scared to face themselves.
I know. And trust me, it's not easy. While I was in there and we were doing the work, before, of course, we practice and we get used with the uncomfortable, because you're opening the subconscious.
Yeah, that's what I like. I don't know if it's
facing yourself into the mirror.
Exactly. Like, you don't know if it's uncomfortable or is it like, my ego? No, I'm never wrong. Or like, it could be many factors.
You have
but like,
got
you're
to break that wall as well.
Yeah.
First, the wall of ego, especially for men, it is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to break the wall of fear. And that's a whole other thing, to see who you are, or to reach to the right end or the right answer. And that's pretty scary. You have no idea. And sometimes your mind will try to protect you, or will protect the subconscious by making you feel stuck. You can't find another answer. Usually people stop at the second or third why. They cannot find anymore. But you must force yourself for 5 whys, and you cannot find it. Your mind is like, this is it. So thankfully, I had a team and we had professors. I was like, I'm stuck. I can go even deeper. They said, no, this is how your subconscious is protecting itself. You need to break through.
It was so liberating.
What I want to say, it is a difficult work, but once you start to face one after the second, after the third, it's like, I can do this. I am brave, because it's gonna make you feel a lot of things. You're gonna feel your courage,
and with the support of great team, family members, friends, whatever. But like support of people also that
yes. That's when we come to NLP. Yeah.
So there's also another shift when I did my research for holistic practices, which is guiding circles of meditation around the world and teaching therapeutic yoga and breathing exercises for nervous system regulation. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. Actually, it was a very enjoyable phase in my life. Holistic practice is part of who I am, because we needed to add nowadays anything you do as a service for the human, for any human being. for any client that you're dealing with. You need to integrate it, you need to add it, you need to deal with it. So if you are trying to help your client to reach an end goal, let's say just in the gym, to make a plank, for example, for 1 minute, and she see that I had an example. I had a client, she saw that this is impossible. Impossible. She started to fall on the floor after 20 seconds. I told her, listen up. I started to talk to her. I told her, this is only limits in your mind. And then I started to tell her how it really works. I made her stop, start to breathe and focus on herself and not to listen to the thoughts of her mind. And I made her just for 1 minute believe in herself and really see that this is just a thought that is coming to her mind to attack her and tell her, you cannot do this. Come on, how come you're going to do this? So, and then I told her, let's try again. Do you want to know how long did she stayed in that plank? From 20 seconds to 1 minute and 50 seconds. And then the second attempt was 2 minutes, something that not the average people do. And she kept that record all time we kept training together. That was amazing. And once she witnessed that she could break a barrier, because it was only in her mind, by stopping, acknowledging what's happening inside the head, and just knowing that it's only a limitation, and she just redirected her nervous system and she regulated it through breathing. Just breathing. Closed her eyes, knew that this was not her voice, this is just a fear in her mind. She was there, amazing. She did something I cannot do.
Just because of the support that you
And I
gave
was so
her.
proud and I felt so happy that we did this. This was a real success, just in a very momentary single thing. And once she could break that, she could break so many things after that. So that's what I mean, integrated holistic practices, that whatever you're doing, once you feel that there's something hard and you've never done it before and it is impossible to be done, or or you have a doubt, if you just stop for a moment and you started to close your eyes, or even without, but it's preferable to turn inward, and to start breathing. Let's say you are regulating your nervous system. So the way will be you inhale from the nose 4 counts in, and out from, you can either from the mouth to release the stress, 8 counts. So it is the double the amount of time. Or in from the nose 4 and out 8. It works as well. If you do this for only 5 minutes repetitively, the nervous system gets a signal of, I'm feeling safe.
Breathing in 4 seconds, releasing,
Out
exhaling
8.
8.
Yes. And there is another approach, is you hold it for 2 seconds and then you release it for 8. But for me, when I tried it, it's the holding sometimes could be scary for the mind or the body after few attempts.
Gotcha. Because
so it's like, why you're making me hold my breath? It's something like that, especially if your nervous system or like the stress is so much. I know that some people use the stop, or like just stop it for 2 seconds, because you're trying to redirect how the nervous system works. It's like you are, when you set up something with the remote, you know, it's like turn it off, turn it on.
Like, would
It's
you say
like a reset. It's like a reset.
Would you like say it works for some people? Like some people would rather inhale for a second, exhale, and some people would rather pause. Because like you also said to the woman that you gave her words of affirmation and motivated her, there were voices in the head. Like we all have voices in our head that sometimes we need to
acknowledge what's happening. So, do you know what? Yeah, I remember. I asked her, what's happening right now? She said, I don't know. I told her, what's happening right now? Just tell me. She said, I don't know. I told her, okay, tell me what your mind is saying. And then she said one thing included fear, or it's impossible for you to do. So I made that come to her awareness. And then I told her, this is not your voice. This is not your mind's voice. This is just the fear. Trust me, this is just only a limitation, because your mind, and then I told her that, is trying to protect you from something is uncomfortable. Once she knew that this is her own protection system, she could break it so easily because she felt safe within herself. It was a moment of connection.
She got the answer for the first why.
Yeah.
There you go.
So how can you co-op? How can you get back into normal life? Is it just going to the doctor and try to talk to her by the hour, and she might or might not even you leave her with some sort of a benefit?
Mhm.
Or is it only by going to the gym and get all the anger and the suppressed energy out on the machines there or on the floor? Or is it only by trying to just socialize with your friends and go to a cafe at night and maybe smoke or just try to release some by joking a lot? But
It's
then you
more of an
go back.
escape.
Haha, haha, it's a distraction. It is an escape. So many people do it when they are overwhelmed and carrying so much burdens. They don't deserve it, but it is your responsibility to heal it. So, how can we gather all of the good things in one place and be guided by someone who has walked this journey?
To
And
make them feel like you're not alone, because no one is alone.
exactly.
Everybody feels like they're alone when they go through a certain experience, but like, guess what? You lost someone, I lost someone,
Yes,
this person lost,
yes,
so you're not alone, and I understand. That's what also people want. I understand where you're going through, and I feel it because I've been there.
yeah,
I don't want you just to listen and listen from this ear, get from the other ear.
exactly.
So basically, you're like, sorry to interrupt, but like, it's taking your fake escape exterior to ignore your inner
Mm,
feelings.
mm,
So you help to focus and heal the inner so
mm.
you'd have a better exterior, right?
Yes, yes. I believe that the medicine, we're coming to the core. I believe that the medicine is within you,
Yeah.
and no one can heal you. Only could be guided if the person is right for you and they are really acknowledgeable. You can be guided, but the healing will be done through you, by you, no one else. You need to be ready, or let's say accepting the idea and open to it, and it's going to be through you.
Hmm.
All we need is just a little bit of guided guided direction, just a little bit guidance. And so I kept talking about this through my social media over the past years. The key is within you. The medicine, you are carrying the medicine. And I kept saying this, and I was advocate for while I was doing the women empowerment for years, for the past years. The medicine lays within you. I want you empowered. You're not broken.
Unless you.
So I went through this journey myself, and this is why I came for I created the Vital Force, because I went this journey that was 8 or 9 years by myself for every single aspect of it.
I was going to ask you that because Vital Force, I bet it did not come out of the blue. Like, I
Yeah,
just found out that you traveled more than 15 countries in Asia alone,
yeah.
and you traveled like too many countries. Like, I want to know more about that. Like, where did you travel? What did you learn there? Like, what inspired you? Like, because I bet you had a career and you had a job. To travel the world, that means that you sacrifice all of that. No
Exactly.
job is gonna give you that kind of vacation.
Exactly,
so,
exactly. I
so
did
not
that.
only did you
Yeah.
travel over 15 countries, or maybe 20 countries, just
Yeah.
15 in Asia alone.
Overall, but yeah, in
Yeah, but
Asia.
like
Yeah.
you took a risk that you quit your job,
Mm.
and it's like you're starting fresh.
Yeah.
A lot of people might call you crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of questions. What countries did you travel? What did you learn? How did you feel taking that risk? Tell me all.
All right, all right. Let's dive into it. Well, yeah, that's what I meant when I said that I started my spiritual journey around the world 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I started by Asia because I was being called there. I felt that there was some sort of calling there. I was not hooked into Europe or anything. So anyhow, uh, wow, I went to India and I stayed there for a while. I learned the initiation of meditation, something called mantra meditation,
Heard about
which is
that.
they call transcendent meditation by monks. And when I stayed in the ashram there for a while, up on the mountain, it was so close to the Himalayan mountains. It was amazing view. So let's say at some point I felt like life has more into this, more than we call a hustle for money or hustle for a certain job and career. So I did, yes, sacrifice my career. I was bright. I was very successful. So many people know me in Cairo, in Egypt, and in Saudi Arabia, because I worked in Saudi Arabia for 5 years with the royal family.
Oh, wow.
And I created my whole reputation there. But then when I came here and my dad's death hit me, something happened within me. I was like, there is more in life to this. There is more in life. I want to explore that. So my sense and my love for adventure and exploration made me go crazy, in a sense that, yes, I'm passionate about my career, but I am more passionate about to see what's
Out
more
there.
out there. And there is a calling in my soul that is wants to take that journey. And I did. And I started traveling nonstop. Since
Were you knowledge
to
about these, like, facing
I
your
didn't. I
inner,
started
your,
with the hub here in Egypt,
oh my
which
God,
I
I love
loved.
that.
It was such a special place.
It's
It's
a
not
vibe.
because
It's a vibe.
exactly. It's actually this land. I always say it has a very healing vibes, because
Mm-hmm.
and some people have so many theories. One of them that I believe in, that is surrounded by the holy mountains, Musas and Saint
Oh,
Catherine. That's why this land has some special energy that everybody could swear there is some sort of a magic there. It is,
spiritual places could lead to spiritual journeys, could
of
lead
course,
to
you
magical
have no
journeys.
idea how much things open up to you and within you when you go there. It is not about the sea or the water sports or anything of what sort. It's not about, forget about the media. When you go there, you feel a certain energy. And everybody who even are not even conscious about their own behaviors or about who they are, they freaking feel it. They
Mm-hmm.
feel it. What is that?
It's filled with tourists even more than other cities in
Yeah.
Egypt. Like, this is the
Yes.
most cities that I see.
Yes.
Like, even though it's very
Yes.
vintage, not that many clubs, not that
And
many
it is
modern things.
very simple,
Yeah,
and
a lot of
and it
tourists
has
love it.
its own soul. I just love that land. It's so insane
So
how
that
I
was
feel it. So
the
it was
start
the
of the
beginning.
entire
I was
journey.
like, oh my God, this is the place I want to live
What what
there.
was it?
But
Did
then,
you think about living there?
yeah, and I did.
How long? Months?
Years. Years. I was
Who lives?
between Dahab and any place else when I feel like it's time to go and explore another country. This is where I started to travel to India for learning the meditation. And then I went to Sri Lanka and I stayed there. I was into volunteering, international volunteering. So I used to live with the local. So I lived with the local family. It was so beautiful. And I volunteered at that time in Sri Lanka in an elephant protective area for a while. It was so beautiful to take care of an elephant in the forest. It was amazing every single day. But then I left them after a while, and I went to in the center of that island. It's a very wild island, by the way, and I got into one of the hardest trainings ever, called Vipassana meditation. It's one of the highest, most technical meditation you will ever learn to train your mind for focus and attention. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, because you stay there in a very small cell in the forest with the simplest means. They will take your mobile and your laptop and your notes, and you are not allowed to take anything with you except a very small flip flop and a very long sleeves white. All you're wearing is white. You're gonna meditate every single day in silence. We had to be within a system which is called Noble Silence for 10 days. You shouldn't have any eye contact. You shouldn't talk to anybody or ask any questions for 10 days.
It's like you're in prison.
It is you and you, but you get out of your cell and you go to the meditation hall
Okay.
where we used to meditate for more than 11 and a half hours. And they took care of our meals, which was only two, and vegetarian. So I lost so much weight there. And you just face you. And you learn how to train your mind in a very, I can't even describe that word. But on the 11th day, when you come out, you are a whole different person. And of course, so many people break inside, break down. They break down inside because you start to face, you go deeper and deeper and deeper layers within you. You start to see what's inside the mind. It's, I don't know why I took it as a challenge and I came out of it as a different person. So yeah, I went to Sri Lanka. I did that. It was extremely spiritual, of course. I met amazing people there who were very spiritual. It's like a soul tribe. And then I went from there to Nepal, and I trekked the Himalayan mountains where I met monks and they shared with me their wisdom as well. It was amazing. I was just in flow, and what I have seen in this journey was incredible. One of them was actually I kind of faced death because my legs slipped. It was there was a part or 2 days while we were climbing and trekking that mountain. It was of course you have your sticks. There's small stones. My legs slipped, and I was going to get over the curve. Uh, Except at the last minute, one guide ran and grabbed me from my backpack because you travel with a backpack, and since that time, it was so hectic that day. And I started to get closer to God and pray for Him that I don't know how I'm going to get back, how I'm going to go to the summit, how I'm going to get down. And weird things started to happen. And He gave me the signs I needed. And He showed me that the only truth for me, this is personal, by the way, the only truth there is in this whole world is Him, is God.
Amen.
The هو الحق. There is nothing else. This is the only, because I was calling my journey seeking the truth. I wanted to know the truth of life. I was so obsessed, and the truth of myself. And I kept talking about this over and over and over and over, shedding layers because I want to know the truth. So on that, yeah. And he helped me to get down off that mountain. And I rested there for a while and then came back to Egypt. But then I went back to Indonesia 1 year later.
Bali.
I went to Bali. Bali is a pretty, let's say, it's known that it is a spiritual place or a spiritual island. So many people go there seeking spirituality.
Or honeymoon spots.
Yeah, yes.
Most of
Oh
what
my
it's
God,
known
I
for.
think, you know what? I believe that Bali would really fits well and much better if it is a honeymoon spot.
It is, and the people
Nothing
don't know
else.
why, because it's spiritual spot.
No, it's just a beautiful tropical island. So of course it is so perfect, and it is much less cheaper, and the people there are so nice. So it is, you take that period, fall in love as you want, beautiful cliffs, beautiful ocean, beautiful
Enjoy
island,
the moment.
and leave, man. Because I lived there for a few months, and then I went to Lombok. I stayed there for more than 8 months. I stayed there for a while, really. I just came back 2 months ago.
Wow. Because like when I looked at your entire journey, like there was a big setback.
Yeah.
Was the traveling the reason, or was there a reason? Like what is the reason for the setback? Oh, there is story.
There is a very big story. Yeah.
Share with us the story, please.
I will share the story. Well, okay. That's actually a pretty long one. I don't know from where to start, but that setback, let's just say something as a summary before I dive in, that it was actually a beautiful, amazing result or outcome came out of it that made me find who I am or what I really wanted to do. So I established Vital Force while I was there. I was actually constructing the whole thing. And I was working behind scenes in silence, how to make that happen, the Vital Force. So the beautiful outcome was coming to me from that setback. So the setback was, unfortunately, I got scammed by one of the people who pushed themselves into a spiritual world, and they were selling something that they called it's part of, the healing tools. It was a breath work modality, and it has been advertised in a way that it was fake and it is a big scam. And there was so much nagging from person that was close to me, I was working with at that time, to get into and to enroll myself. So I made a very huge, big investment to go into that company. My intention was good, is to help people to release their trapped emotions, because I want their well-being. It's part of my whole journey. I want the emotional healing to happen. So I felt maybe I was cold, but I wasn't cold. person I was working with, she was nagging and targeting me as go inside if you feel the call, I don't know what, as part of their advertisement that was like for a very long period of time. And once I got inside there, I saw strategies that I didn't like, how to target people to make your sales, how to target people to make your marketing.
Things were a little
And
bit fishy and
yeah, and
scammy.
so many things that it's not quite right. I believed in the owner itself. He had good vibes, and I felt that he had a vision. But unfortunately, there are parts of the team there that they are just executing things in a very manipulative way and twisting the truth. And they are treating themselves as a community. The initial idea of them was to have a community that is exclusive to their own instructors. But when I saw there, I saw behaviors of when we get mad of someone, let's all go and report that someone and hurt them. When we get, I don't know, when someone make a bad review, let's all attack that person. And then they start to be and sound angelic. And and actually and like, let's have each other's back. And even the people inside, we have blind loyalty. When I was in there, blind loyalty is like when they say this person is evil or bad, let's all go and treat them bad without even hearing their story, because you must be right. So we were like, they were creating like a cult. And actually, it's funny, after I got out of this thing, because it wasn't working anyways, and it's creating so much anxiety and stress and pressure because the investment was huge. I got out, and then I saw that everybody, whenever I talk about it, is like, Sarah, didn't you know that they were a cult? They were like treating themselves and everybody inside like a cult.
Like, it's so crazy. Like, I think that is like the biggest sign. And you just said it, like, it's a healing place.
It is.
And it caused so
Oh
many
my
anxiety,
God.
stress.
It is, and it did to me. And unfortunately, again and again, the setback was I had a very approximate relationship with someone. I hired her, I recruited her as a coach with me, and I gave her my vision that I wanted to create, because she was saying that she's doing a program of 90 days of trying to help you create your own business and reach your vision, and let's do the prompt and let's use the NLP and I don't know what. So I was like, that's nice, because when you have someone to hold you accountable, you can just unleash yourself. So let's do that,
Everybody loves to have an mentor
Yeah,
and a
so I
coach.
trusted her. I got into her whatever platform she was using, and got inside her groups, and we were working together. And then I started to realize very weird things. Things like I have been always targeted somehow and mentioned in the stories and in the post, talking about me in the way, indirect way, using my own information or using my own words. What's happening?
Was that in the early process,
It
mid
was a
process?
very, very early process.
Too soon to
And
start?
I was actually, maybe that was my fault. I was very impressed by her and by the work she's done and what or she's doing and everything. And I was like, wow, this is an amazing person. To follow, to admire, to actually be loyal to, as a guide. But then I found that I have been criticized. Sometimes I post something out of knowledge or out of sharing or a personal experience. I find next day or the same day a very negative criticism on one of her posts in a way that she's trying to dismantle me. I was like, what's happening? Is this real? One after the second, and I kept my vibes very positive. I felt like I was fighting this thing. And I stayed fighting for 2 years. But I didn't acknowledge that this was work in a way that damaging. And I kept the image of, this is a great person. This is a good person I would like to deal with. So when she offered something like a private new project, I jumped every time she announced for a new project. I jumped because it was very related to whatever I do.
Still, you were not knowing that she was an actual fraud who was stealing other people's work, giving it to herself.
Yes, exactly. So I jumped into something that had us to work individually, one-to-one, for 90 days. And unfortunately, because I'm an open book, I shared so much and so many things about my life
No
openly.
copyright.
And she claimed she's trauma informed. I was like, okay, this is a safe place. I need to trust someone. I'm gonna start by trusting her and tell her all my secrets, all my whatever hidden traumas. When now, if you had a talk with a professor that in psychology or any great doctor, a real doctor or consultant in psychology will tell you, have one person to hold you accountable, have one person to share with whatever you're doing. Do the NLP on yourself, but have one person. So I chose her. She's the one I'm going to open up and show her the ugly places. Because what? The persona that was in front of me, she's saying, I'm fearless, I'm the strongest ever. This is how she tell she's the strongest, she's the hero, she's fearless, she can handle any shit. Not for the fragile heart, but she has the heart. That was the persona. So I was like, okay, if anyone will handle whenever I'm going deep within my own pain and share, this person will be it.
You
and
were
then I was
so
like,
inspired by the strength of
I was
this
like,
woman.
okay, this is it. I needed that strong wall I can lean on, or strong, let's say, rock. So let's do it. I think you can handle it. I trusted her that she can handle it. I had no clue of anything else that could be happening behind my back.
But did you share because, like, you know, you were doing a lot of work? That means that
Yes.
you shared business with her. That means, like, should have been contract, copyrights.
No, unfortunately, it was just an email. An email of like, I'm gonna offer you such and such and such in exchange of such and such and such an amount, and trust
From
me
her
that
to you.
and trust me, it was not cheap. I invested everything in me. I have invested a fortune into my travelings because this was my journey, the whole spiritual journey. It was the
Yeah.
biggest investment in myself, knowing the
course.
self. That was my biggest achievements that cannot be tangible, cannot be touched. What did you achieve? You can't just go to someone. I have achieved knowing the self. That was like, what? You didn't own a car? You don't have an achievement over ranking in a position in the career? You don't have a house or a villa? But you have invested everything you have from a material wise or from your money in you, in your whole travelings that you've done, and in hiring a coach, and of trying to invest in yourself because you were building yourself. So knowing the self and building the self brick by brick, changing the structure, catching whatever needs to be changed, doing all of that. So this is your achievement? Yeah, this is my achievement of 8 freaking years. But that coach started to make traps, and she started to terminate here and there, not once but twice. I got hooked into the whole breathwork thing, propaganda that was being marketed by her, and then she was manipulating me all the freaking time with words, with posts. I have seen my stuff and my ideas are being stolen in front of my eyes, and I kept watching this, antagonizing me,
And you have no
causing me
proof
so
that this is
much
your
pain.
idea.
I have no proof, but my brain tried to justify this with the best, beautiful, most intention that maybe she is doing this out of some sort of connection. Maybe I don't know why my brain chose to see this beautiful
You
colored
choose to see the
thing.
best in people.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, maybe this is a connection and we are inspiring each other. Maybe because now I'm in the company. So we are working for the humanity. Even if she doesn't have any direct connection, direct communication with me, this is how she wants to communicate with me. Like to put everything I am putting or talking about on the company's social media. Because other than this, I would file a lawsuit, or I would talk to the company and say what she's doing, because I couldn't say. I was allowing formal complaint to get me out of the company after I just got certified and I was just in the plane. She found the leverage somehow, and then she used that. And after she stole my whole identity, she was feeding on my identity. She was mimicking me, copying me, stealing characteristics and personality and ideas and words. I was like, is this even true? Trust me. I
And
was
then they
not that
attack you.
suspicious person.
And then they attack you. That sounds narcissist. Psychopath, narcissist
And
person.
here we are. Yes. And when I closed everything, all my private all my accounts into private, and I even sometimes I removed my bios because she was criticizing everything, even my bio. I removed everything and I sat down on a chair. It's time for introspection. But this time was not about me. This time was like, you know what? It's time to observe and watch. Sit back. Let's see this. And then her mask.
How far will it go?
Exactly. Her mask started to slip. I was not there. She was scratching. She wants to feed emotionally. Because I was her, what they call narcissistic supply is someone who can regulate the nervous system of a narcissist.
Okay.
They feed on us emotionally.
Okay.
They have another partner, but they feed on us emotionally.
It's like a venom.
It's like a vampire. They call them the energy vampires. So, or vampires energy, I don't know. And then I started to see a shit show happening on the whole business platform, assuming and putting posts and I don't know what, and still using my words and my ideas. I was like, I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna observe, I'm gonna study. And then, of course, while Vital Force was coming out, at the same time, I started to. I was already in the university, NU, International University, for the studying master psychology,
Mhm.
and it all started to come together, and that truth that started to be built and get together, I swear it was the first thing I could think of, that someone I trusted deeply and I worked with her for 3 years. This is who she is. That she is someone who exploits others, steal from them their ideas. She used them as tools. If there is any sort of a good transaction to her or benefit, she will deal with you and she will never let, with the softest, sweetest smile, and she will make you feel that she has your back and she loves you and she just cheer you on all the freaking time.
That's the
If there
behavior
is,
of a cult. The fact, like, I'm even thinking about, like, the fact that you were falling into, or maybe you were into a cult, but then you were stepping back. I'm like, no, I don't want to continue. That is so fucking scary. Excuse my language, but like, it's
yeah,
being in cults, like, it's so scary. Like, there's no way out sometimes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if you get out,
And
there
that's
could be
how I felt
consequences.
my God was protecting me. Allah was protecting me. God was protecting me in His own way by actually making her do all of this. I was a test to her that she failed, and she made me try to terminate me because I figured out the story behind why she terminated me in the first place. That her boss was actually firing someone because she was having something like an emotional connection with him. So she wanted to mimic him. So she created a whole full situation exactly like him, and I was the scapegoat. She played with my emotions in a way, and she was manipulating, and she always works subtly,
You
you
were being
know?
coached by the devil.
Unfortunately.
So, like, w-
And this is yeah. So that was a setback that I needed to sit back, and of course, after the hit, it was so many hits, and it damaged my psychological,
I bet, of
yeah,
course.
my psychological health. It caused so much damage to my emotional health. So luckily, I was still on the islands of Indonesia. I was digesting everything. I was treating my nervous system like a queen. I was trying to just nourish myself, being very calm. I was living within the nature with
It's like,
so
a
very
person,
kind people.
it's like, thank God, like, I got harmed while I'm still in the hospital so I can get
Yeah.
treated.
Yes, exactly. And the
So,
hospital was life, was the island, was nature, with Mother Earth, and the places I went there was so beautiful. But it was not escaping because I was on my own, digesting this whole thing, getting
of
the pieces
course,
together of the puzzle, cracking it up, and it was almost gonna kill me around November or December once I figured it out. And
2025?
2025, yeah, it was so hard. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not giving up. I'm not turning back. I'm going to take my time to see how we're going to do and deal with this on our own, because I'm someone who believes that the medicine lays inside of you. So I insisted, you know what? This is the time you turn inward. We're going to do this. We're going to deal with this.
Like, from your
So,
personality and your story, you've dived so many deep dives and you have the knowledge.
yeah,
So if I can do all of that, I can fight this easily because I have the knowledge. That's something they cannot take your brain. I
exactly.
have the
You are
information.
the source. Exactly. It's like if you know you and you trust you going through all of this, or through, let's say, tests of life and so many things, and you climbed mountains, man, the Himalayan. So if you are that
You
person
discover how
and you
strong
are
you
the
are.
source of all these ideas and the words and the energy and this creativity, even if someone caused you harm intentionally, come on, when you just know that someone you thought they love you, or they actually
Care
treat you with
about you.
respect, you or respect you, they actually intentionally try to destroy you and destroy your life and mimic you and have your identity because they were jealous or whatever mental disease they have. When you get
Narcissist.
to
They're narcissists.
yeah, when you get to this bottom line, you're like, okay, okay, we're sitting down. We're gonna handle this in a mature way. I have witnessed so much immaturity. You have no idea.
I bet.
You have no idea. And I saw celebration out of my disappearance, and celebration while so many twisted truths they have been said out there about me. And I was like, just be wise, just be patient. The truth will come out at some
Hmm.
point and it will be revealed. So even if she feels so, I don't know, like a winner because she got away with something, this is not the truth, and this is not how
You
God,
can get away once, but
yeah,
you cannot get away forever.
yeah, and this is not how God operates.
Hmm.
Come on, there is a consequences for everything.
Amen.
If someone thought they can easily replace you and create all that damage in your life and just run away with whatever they got away with, and then again they, surround themselves with another gang or a big supportive group and try to show this image, if you don't know that God is witnessing everything, you don't know that you might not really actually
And that's why there's no,
have the success
yeah, and
you
that's why
need.
there's no coincidence. There is fate and there's destiny, but also there's choices, and based on your choices, there are consequences. But because
Yeah,
the entire conversation in your industry is all about psychology,
yeah,
so it's all about emotions and mental. Right now, we are in a little bit, I'm not like, I would say it out cloud, it's a scary world. Okay, there's AI, virtual reality, these VR masks that people like, it's a game, but like, it makes you like in most of the games like with the VR are horror games to scare you like you're falling off a cliff and like right now
provoke your emotions all
yeah,
the
like,
time.
so how do you think like what would you say about this danger, like, of this technology and AI is taking over our psychology, and like, how's this like also affecting our ethics and our moral codes?
Yeah, unfortunately, the era that we're going to, okay, let's just say one thing and then we go into how badly AI and the technology and the people who have no morals or ethics are playing behind the screens nowadays, and they can cause so much damage more than good. Before this, let me say one thing.
Hmm.
When AI came and how it could help us, and I think many people will agree on this, is one point, which is it can enhance the way you are. How can we say this? It can be used as a tool to help you function better. Let's say, like the cars, when it before it was like, I don't know, the motor is how many horses, and now we can create a better one that can go faster, that can make you reach from a place to the second in a faster way. So AI was like, it needs to be used as only a tool of like, okay, this is something could help me to reach to people faster, or make
iPhones is like,
programs.
there's the camera that you can connect people with other
Let's
countries.
say, yeah,
Like there is the fun in
it's like,
everything that has been created, but
yeah,
it be taken into a danger zone.
I
Same thing
know,
with social media. Social
I
media was
know,
like people they
yeah,
would be posting like what they eat is fun, hang out.
yeah,
Right now it's a business. Like your
yeah.
life is on social media. You criticize on social media. Everybody they call themselves like certified this and that, and they're not, and they talk.
I have witnessed so much happening, not only on the social media, even from whatever has around me. I have been into workshops and heard what was being lectured. It's all bullshit. It's all just nothing, nothing. People are trying to convince themselves. Actually, they are tricking their own minds, and they are making mind games to attract money, to uh, rewrite the story. Do you know that what narcissists do most is,
Recreate
if
history
I killed you, I'm gonna recreate the story and rewrite the story to
to make
make myself
the
the
victim.
hero. And I was fully and beautifully justified that I have done this and I couldn't do much more than this.
That
But
is,
I'm not accountable and I am unapologetic.
but that
As
is
it,
one thing. That is one thing when you lie the lie and you believe it. But when you inject that into other people, that's where it gets scary because a lot of people, like right now, they're lazy to even pick up a book. So they believe anything.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
That's a big problem. Whenever something comes as a trend now, and people just want to easily follow because they are looking for something to belong to. They want to just belong because this is how human nature is. I want to belong to something. So whenever you see a trend or the world is going into a certain way, we want to follow that to feel like we belong within you as well.
Yeah.
We are with you. We are not behind something. So we cannot be alone, you know?
So from your perspective, what is needed in today's world so we can not fall into this cult or this
AI needs to be
loophole?
acknowledged as it should be just a tool that you use it in a very minimal way to enhance and make whatever you are doing more effective. Whatever you're in the way you operate, it is more effective. All right?
Okay.
All right. It's only a tool just to enhance, not to use it like ChatGPT as a friend, or not to let it collect all this sort of information about you, not to abuse it. So the danger of AI and the danger of the whole technology, and Jason Peterson talked about that actually, doctor, because he specialized in dealing with the narcissists and the narcissist victims and psychopathic people, and Macvillan. Macvillan is the most horrifying beings. Let's say they are not human because the gray matter in their brain does not exist, by the way. It's very minimal and it doesn't go into the compassionate part. They have no empathy, they have no compassion, and they don't know some sort of feelings like love. And when I cause you pain, they don't know that. They don't acknowledge it. They know the definition. They don't know the feeling. That's why they cause pain. That's why they betray. That's why they can't fall in love. That's why they always feel empty. So Jason Peterson went into that. And once the AI started to bloom, he came out and he made a warning. Be very careful. I have this video. Be very careful. Now, psychopathic people, he talked about virtual life nowadays, that with the virtual life, it will make all the psychopaths or the narcissistic personalities behind the screens,
a lot of them,
make a lot of damage. Because they are behind the screens and they are making their whole life now virtual. And this is how we're receiving things. And this is how we're dealing nowadays.
and some of them made a lot of money.
It's not just the money for them. It's how much they are damaging others to do that. And they are psychopathic. So they are trained naturally within themselves to brainwash you to what they want to reach and do. They can brainwash you to actually steal your identity or break down something you have known yourself for years. They can cause so much damage. So much. And he said, be so careful. Virtual life will make the psychopaths hide. You will not even know them, who they are and what they're doing. And that was the most scary thing I have seen and heard, actually. So now comes to the ethics and morals, how it is being affected. Come on, man. If we are talking about such personalities being spread around and now with just a button behind their screen, hiding in the rooms, are controlling a mass or big mass of people. So masses of people. If that's happening, what ethics are you talking about? They hate ethics. They hate morals. They tell you are traditional and we are beyond all of this. They don't care. They don't fear consequences. There is no consciousness.
It destroyed families. It destroyed friendship. It destroyed marriages. It destroyed.
So of course it
everything.
affects the ethics and codes, the moral codes. And it is very important. That's why actually one of the reasons I'm creating the Vital Force when I found that my values is not going along with all the businesses that's out there, that means what? I'm going to create my own system or a safe place where it has a good ethics and moral codes that I will make sure that whenever someone I'm going to deal with from clients or whoever is going to be within the group or my community, they will be safe within some sort of ethics and moral codes there. And I will highlight them more than business strategies and marketing strategies. And actually that what will make not just an identity, a niche. It's going to make you different in a world that is everybody's abusing everybody for the sake of money and for gaining $14,000 or $7,000 or whatever.
And that was actually going to be my last thing to tell you. Like, if there's one thing that is a part of your mission of the upcoming period, for those who don't know or want to protect themselves or become more effective, like, what is your goal or your mission in your institute or in your next era or journey of life?
Spread awareness. Let's say I am going to hire the awareness and spread awareness and spread the knowledge. You will tell me knowledge is being accessible everywhere right now, but sometimes, unfortunately, people are becoming lazy and they are all hooked about the 90 seconds reels. This is not knowledge by any means, and whatever is getting into the brain is getting dumped again.
Knowledge is
So
way more deeper.
and that means I'm going to share knowledge, but I will actually, in my programs, I will let them be implemented by them. And for me, the first thing I will do is spread awareness about the. Now we're gonna go to the personality disorders. I need people to know and understand what with whom we are living now in the society. They need to accept the hard truth. Life is not all pink and colorful and rainbows. I used to believe that when I was in the early spiritual years. I was like, life is very, it's rainbow, it's light and love only. It's all about peace and
It's
beautiful
like a Barbie
feelings.
land.
Yeah, it's like all the peace and good things and I don't know what. I lived that. I was
Yeah.
like, this is spiritual. This is me being free and being in peace and being living positively. No, it's
Life is
not.
not Disneyland.
Reality is totally different. Actually, if you want to reach somewhere real, you need to dive deeper and you need to see the reality. It could break you because it's totally different than your perspective and expectations and thoughts, but you need to see it. And once you see it, you're going to be truly liberated. So I'm going to spread awareness by many things, maybe through what we're going to share, me and my team. And yeah, I have a beautiful team in Vital Force as well. That who I know that they have, what we call it.
They have your back.
Yes, of course, but some real good instinct and a good intention for the world out there, not for the sake of hungry money or money hungry, just you know. So that's the main thing. Everybody I choose now and I select and I recruit to work with me, either the legal firm or the intellectual property firm that I have, I'm working with, or whatever firm, I select them carefully. And whoever I make them get closer to me, I make sure that they are good people and I can scan energy with, of course, dealing with each other. I know them. It's like I know them, you know me, and we will have the same vision out there for the world. We really want to make it better, but it is not a
Absolutely.
slogan
Yeah.
for business. It is not a strategy. It is something genuine,
Yeah.
something really real. We are not people who speak the words that is just meaningless out there for the masses to, oh my God, she's speaking the same words that are being spread around.
Yeah.
But we are.
It's more about the results. And I'm sure that with you, we're going to see amazing, transformative results. And
Thank you.
also, like, oh my God, I fell in love with this interview. I fell in love with you and your story.
Thank you,
And
Abdullah.
I know I'm going to see great things from you. And I believe in your company and I believe it will be massive and great one day. And just like, because, in life is not Disneyland. People are not fairy tales or
Yeah.
the heroes all the time. Like last thing that I like to share that has to do with people, feel free to use it. I read in a book, so it's not fully mine,
Okay.
that people are like trees.
Mhm.
There are people who are like leaves. They're unstable. They go with the wind and seasonal. It comes at a time they show their true color, could be good or could be bad, but they fall and disappear. They come in your life to teach you certain things, whether it could be strength, love, hate, whatever it is. People are other like roots.
Mm.
They may be strong, but storms can sometimes break them. And there are others like roots. Roots that's at the bottom. These people are going to be with you till the end of time. And these people sometimes could count on one hand or two hands. But these are the people who are going to have your back and they're going to support you. They're never going to be ashamed of you. And these are the people that you guys are going to rise to the stars. And these are the people who created the tree.
Yeah.
And I hope your institute is your roots one day.
Thank you.
Thank you
This was
so
so
much.
beautifully put.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Sara.
much, Abdullah, for this beautiful interview. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you hopefully in a new episode one day.